everybody and welcome to the channel Bob Sales this times next year. The Incredibles is a 2004 American animated superhero film produced by none other than Pixar Animations, and of course this was released by Walt Disney Pictures. This film was written and directed by Brad Bird, and like all Disney animation films, this has a star-studded celebrity cast. Set in the futuristic version of the 1960s, this film follows Bob and Helen Parr, a couple of superheroes known as Mr. Incredible and Elastic Girl. On their wedding day, Bob actually stops a civilian's attempted suicide. He actually tackles him through a skyscraper window. Bob then discovers supervillain Bon Voyage robbing the building. But Bob is also interrupted by his devoted fanboy Buddy Pine. Young Buddy, bless him, just wants to be his sidekick, but Bob rejects Buddy, but he follows anyway. Bon Voyage actually clips a bomb onto Buddy's cape, and lo and behold, there's big trouble. Bob does manage to get the bomb off, but it does destroy part of the SkyTrain track. This of course forced Bob to abruptly stop the train. After Helen and Bob's wedding, he is actually sued for collateral damage by the suicidal civilian. He is also sued by several of the civilians injured on the train. Similar lawsuits create a negative public attitude towards superheroes. So the government initiates the superhero relocation program, banning all supers from using their powers in public and forcing them into hiding.
The tremendous public pressure and the crushing financial burden of an ever-mounting series of lawsuits, the government quietly initiated the superhero relocation program in exchange for the promise to never again resume hero work. Where are they now?
Anyway, 15 years later, and now overweight Bob lives with Helen and their children, Violet, Dash and baby Jack. This is in Metroville. Although he loves his family, Bob misses his superhero days and resents his mundane job as a claims adjuster. Now Bob, being Mr. Incredible, has still been moonlighting as a vigilante with his best friend Lucius Best, also known as Frozone.
Honey!
What?
Where's my super suit?
What?
Where is my super suit?
Put it away!
Where?
Why do you need to know?
I need it!
Don't you think about running off to doing no daring do? We've been planning this dinner for 2 months.
Tell me what my suit is, woman! We are talking about the greater good!
Greater good? I am your wife. I'm the greatest good you are ever gonna get.
One day, Bob's supervisor, a right little turd called Gilbert Hugh, stops him from preventing a mugging. Because of this, Bob actually sees the mugger get away through the window. He actually throws his boss through about 10 walls. Of course, for this, superhero Bob is fired again. The same day, a woman named Mirage secretly offers Bob a mission to subdue a giant robot. This is loose on an island. Bob succeeds by tricking the machine into ripping out its own power source. Rejuvenated by being back in action and with the higher pay, Bob improves his relationship with his family. He keeps training and essentially gets back into shape. So while Bob is on his secret mission, he's actually said that he's on a business trip. But what he didn't expect was his wife Helen would actually go to superhero costume designer Edna Mode.
Edna Mode. And guess.
Incorrectly assuming that Helen knows of Bob's new job, Edna makes new suits for the entire family and thus putting the whole team back in action. The second film was released in 2018 and this actually carries on from where the first ended. Although this one is a sequel, it's just as good if not better. Although marked as for kids, these films are a lot of fun for watching for the adults and kids alike. So even if you have no kids, I recommend watching these films. Bird, who is Pixar's first outside director, developed the film as an extension of 1960s comic books and spy films from his boyhood childhood. He actually pitched the film to Pixar after his first film failure, which was The Iron Giant in 1999. This actually bombed at the box office and this was a Warner Bros. Pictures film. Well, Pixar, they were rightly a bit nervous and thought it would be way too expensive to ever make a profit. In response, Brad Bird asked Pixar if he could make it using the least popular animators, or at least the ones that were less likely to stick around with the company or follow the rules. He reckoned because of these factors they would be more open to experimenting, and this was right. The original film was also meant to be 2D animation like the Disney classics, and you can even see these ideas in the credit illustrations. But as we know today, The Incredibles film did end up 3D. The Incredibles 1 was actually a smash hit, generating over $631 million in revenue. However, the second film, released a decade later, made 182.7 million in its opening weekend, setting the best record for debut animated film. But this film also grossed over 1.2 billion worldwide, making it the 4th highest grossing film of 2018, the 2nd highest grossing animated film, and the 15th highest grossing film of all time, and yes, it deserves every penny. So here's a couple of fun facts. Did you know that Brad Bird, the director, is the voice behind actor Edna Node? He did it to actually fill in why there was no characters cast for the role. He was actually told it was so funny he should play the gig full time. So he did. Also, this is the first Pixar film based on humans. Normally they animate bugs or toys or stuff like that, not human form. Of course, being veve users, we all know the story behind the pizza truck. It made appearances in every Pixar film, but did you know this is the one it did not? Or maybe we just haven't found it yet. Also, did you know that character actor Dash was made to run every time before laying out his lines for the film? In the film, Edna gives a famous monologue about how capes, although iconic to superheroes, are actually a liability, which will get you killed in various different ways. It's one of the funniest and most memorable scenes in the film, but did you know it wasn't just there for a joke? No, the real reason there was no capes, they were very hard to animate, like hair, like human movement, and other tricky things in film. So to save time, the capes were left out of the superhero situation.
No capes.
Isn't that my decision?
Do you remember Thunderhead? Tall, storm powers. Nice man, good with kids.
November 15th to 58.
Always well, another day saved when his cape snagged on a missile pin.
April 23rd, 57. Cape caught in a jet turbine.
You can't generalize about this.
Metaman Express Elevator.
Dyna guy, snag on takeoff. Splashdown, sucked into a vortex. No capes.
So talking about capes, have we seen these heroes before? Yes, of course, one of the hidden Easter eggs in this film, all 4 of these superheroes was actually at Bob and Helen's wedding. So that's been the story, let's get to the drop. 3 digital collectibles from Disney Pixar's The Incredibles drop in blind box waitlist format Friday the 27th of October, 8 AM PT, which of course is 4 PM UK time. List price for these collectibles is going to be 30 gems and they're all FA. Now the rare variation is actually going to be Jack Jack. He will be minting 2004 editions and the only one that's listed with animation and sound. So I'll play that in full now. The next is Violet the Invisible Girl. She's the ultra rare and she's going to be minting 1198 editions. The next is a Dashing Dash and he will be minting 598 editions, so he's very low edition. A total of 90 editions from each rarity will be kept by veve and the licensors. But before we get into the overall thoughts, let's check the market and see how the others we already have in the app are doing. So the thing is with these collectibles, this is the 2nd series, right? So we do already have the 1st series. Now I did notice the 2nd series is actually 10 gems lower. So that is definitely a plus for this drop. We do already have these variations in the app. So it's easy to compare because there's exactly the same editions for these. So right now the animated is the Baby Jack. And of course, I do think 2004 editions, it will end up being around 16 gems. Mrs. Incredible is the ultra rare. Again, she is minting the exact same editions as the other one. As Violet, she is 23 gems. I actually think Violet will do a bit worse than that. I actually think Violet's going to do about 20 gems. The next one is the secret rare, which is Frozone. Again, no animation here. And this one is sitting at 74 in the market right now. 75, sorry. This is exactly the same editions as Dash itself. So I do expect around these prices, but maybe a bit lower. And I also do expect the drop to sell out because this one did sell out. Let's not forget that. So I do expect it to sell out. Do I think these are going to rocket in value? No, I think they're going to do exactly what's happened here. So let me know your game plan, let me know your thoughts. I've been your host, Bob Sales. This time next year, we will be millionaires. A peace.
Now, what are you waiting for?
I don't know. Something amazing, I guess.